guys, this is Tish Squeaks, and I just wanted to say something about my dad, since nothing was really said about his memorial for his passing. I just wanted to say a few things about him in memory of him. So I'm the oldest of 7 kids, and I knew my dad before anyone. I knew my dad when I was 2, and he was in his 20s. I knew my dad before the motorcycles and before the long hair and before the bodybuilding, before the race car and the wrestling and the tattoos and the women. Everyone knew my dad, Rudy Arellano, a black Steele wrestler, as a badass tough guy. He had this way of connecting to people that he was insulting and mean, and it was bantering, and he wanted you to insult him back. And that was kind of his way of connecting to you. And sometimes he'd be a little bit mean. Well, we know he was mean. And that was just the way he is. And maybe it's one of those Arellano character flaws. They're just tough, bad-ass guys. But I knew the sensitive side to my dad. He did have a sensitive side. I remember the first time I told my dad that I loved him, and he just kind of gave me this look, like he was like a little bit confused. Like he wanted to say that he loved me back, but he wasn't sure how. But then after hearing me tell him that I loved him, several times over and over through the years, he actually used to tell me that he loved me a lot, and that was really, really awesome to see that happening. And he loved all his kids. He loved every single one of us. And even if we hurt him, he still loved us. When I was a little girl, my dad told me to always try and to never give up. And that's one of the reasons why I think I accomplished so much in my life, because always remembering in the back of my head that my dad told me to try. So I was always the courageous kid that always was like, okay, well, my dad said to try, so I'm going to go ahead and try. And just go for it. The earliest memory of my childhood was dancing with my dad. He would actually put his my little feet on top of his shoes, and we would dance. And it was just the best memory I could ever have. And part of the problems that I had with dealing with my dad was he did have this sensitive spot. When I looked at him, he almost would cry sometimes. And I was like, what is wrong with you? And he just looked at me like if I was a little girl. He just seen the little girl in me, and it was hard to connect to me sometimes because he didn't really know me too much as an adult until the last couple of years when we used to text each other back and forth. I'm always going to remember my dad, and I will always miss him and remember the things that he taught me. And I'll never forget him dancing with me when I was a little girl, and I'll always remember him when I go and get a Diet Coke with a chocolate chip cookie.